Are you tired of restrictive diets and endless frustration? In this video, I'm gonna show you how to lose weight without having to count macros and keep the weight off. By the end of this video, you're gonna know 3 things: how to have a solid nutrition plan, how to be consistent even when you're extremely busy, and more importantly, how to lose weight without actually feeling like you're on a diet. And this video is for dads who want to start taking their health as a priority. They're disciplined, but they're not willing to sacrifice family time, but they're ready to do something about their weight. So if you're looking for a quick fix, this video is probably not for you. Instead, go ahead and check out some of my other content. I post out all the time about how to overcome procrastination, motivation, and all that stuff. Let's be real, if you've been trying to lose weight, you've probably counted your macros, you've probably tried some type of strict eating plan, done an endless amount of cardio, but you're stuck and you're frustrated with your journey so far. So there's 3 things that I like to focus on. Number 1 is a balanced focus versus a restriction. When we're in that restrictive mentality, you can only eat this amount, you can only have this much fat, you can have only this much carbs. The reality is that's a very challenging process over a 7-day period. When we focus on balance, you have a lot more success because we're focusing on primarily habits and building on compounding things that are gonna help move you in the right direction and trending with your weight instead of perfection. This all or nothing mentality over here with restriction and perfection leads to you feeling defeated, leads to you not feeling as successful with your process because it's a very rigid structure. When you focus on habits and you focus on balance, you're able to start to stack wins. If you start smaller, you build on those habits, you're gonna get some momentum because you're feeling good about yourself, and that will lead to building more positive habits. And I wanna give you an example of a guy who's recently lost a ton of weight and how we didn't count macros, because if you're thinking, how can you lose weight without counting macros? I'm gonna show you a step-by-step system that focused on building habits and has led to a lot of success. So first, what is your biggest area of opportunity, and only focus on that. For this particular guy, it was taking away sweets. It was a non-negotiable. I have sweets every day. I got to eliminate that. He chose that, not me. And then we back this up with accountability. We check on each one of these practices on a week or bi-weekly process. What was your consistency level with this one task? Once you can do this at an 80% compliance, you have successfully done this. Now let's start to stack these habits. So we're going to keep no sweets. And what do you want to focus on after that? This particular guy, we started exercising. We started moving 3 days a week with some workouts and started to get him to feel good. So now we're stacking no sweets, exercise, do these 2 things at a high compliance, high consistency. Then we focused on step count, intentionally getting 7,500 steps. And if you're thinking to yourself, hey, I'm already doing these things, it's not working, I've tried all this stuff before, the key is consistency. Building 80% compliance with tracking the data, seeing where we are. I did this 80%. I did this 80%. I did this 80%. Pretty soon, the further up you get in this journey, these things down here should become automatic and you're not having to think about it, because that's what true habit building is, and that's what we're trying to do. From there, we went to eliminate dairy, we increased the step count, and we're building on the things that are leading to success. So every single week, you should be measuring how much do you weigh and how much do you weigh at the end of the week. You should be able to get 0.05 to 2 pounds, and if not, we have to do 2 things, and I talk about this in other videos. We have to increase your activity, or we have to decrease your nutrition. Which path do you want to do? Sometimes you chose exercise because exercise made him feel better. It led to building more positive habits outside of the gym, and we went to tracking foods, and we went and we built this process as opposed to on day 1, count your macros, here's a restrictive diet, this is what I need you to do, pass or fail. Focus on your habits. Now, when we get into the specifics of how do you lose weight, there's a couple of different things I want you to think about: nutrition, habits, movement, and consistency. I want each one of your meals, the first thing you focus on, protein. Protein is gonna help our strength work, our work in the gym, prioritize that muscle growth, and by prioritizing protein early on in the day, it's gonna make it to where you don't feel as hungry later on in the day, and you have a small lunch for salad, you skip breakfast, and then come dinner time, you're eating so much because you don't have enough nutrients in your body. I want you to flip that on its head. Focus on protein first. Try to get 50 grams before 10 a.m. and 100 grams before 12 p.m. I have other videos on how to accomplish this, but each meal, have your first focus on protein. From there, you can build out on carbohydrates. Go for healthier carbohydrates and then a healthy amount of fat too, right? So avocados, things like that. Simple choices here, guys. Go for grilled over fried. Go for sweet potato over white. Make small, simple choices with the priority on protein. When it comes to your habits, I want you to think about what is the biggest area of opportunity that has the least amount of resistance. So instead of trying to go for, I'm gonna start exercising 5 days a week, well, what if you just eliminated drinking pop? That's an area of opportunity. You know you have 4 pops a day, sodas, whatever you call them. What if that's an area of opportunity? You don't drink any water. So you come up with these different things that are all aligned with health and all aligned with your goal, but you simplify it. You choose one thing, do this really well, and then you can add another. Because the reality is, guys, you want to get healthier. You want to see progress, not perfection. If you start doing these small things, eliminating pop, start drinking water, have a certain amount of protein, you're going to start to feel better, and that momentum is going to build to making better and greater change. When it comes to your movement, same thing. Keep it simple. Don't start going to the gym 5 days a week, an hour a day. Start off with 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. The smaller you break things down, the more consistent you're going to be. You're going to have a lot better results. Maybe it's 15-minute workouts. Maybe it's going for a walk after dinner. In fact, walking walking after any type of meal, if you can add a 10-minute walk, not only do you increase your steps, but you increase your digestive process, which helps you get rid of it faster, helps you feel better, blah, blah, blah. And then how do you put all this together with consistency? You got to have something that tracks your level of compliance, because otherwise you'll start to think that you're doing all these things, but the reality is you might be doing it at 50% compliance. So when you say that, yeah, I've been consistent, what does that mean? I personally use an accountability tracker where I'm able to see it. For you, you might have to get a count, you might have to put a check mark, put some checks. Whatever process is going to help you actually see what you're doing so you can look back at the data and say, I'm doing these things and it's giving me this result. But the reality is, guys, is most people think that losing weight requires a ton of sacrifice, more time in the gym, super restrictive diets, giving up everything that they love. But what happens? It leads to burnout. But instead, if you can focus on smaller habits, you can actually build the momentum and you'll see a lot more success. And you can still enjoy your life. So if you're a busy dad and you're tired of being frustrated and you want to lose some weight, you want a simplified process, and don't take my word for it. Listen to a couple of the guys that have been through the program and have now have seen success.
I'm in the best shape of my life.
My overall health, I feel great. My energy in the morning is through the roof.
Being able to stay consistent with K-Squared Fitness has really helped me stay, well, consistent and keep the progress going. And it's been able to boost my mood, and that's been really nice.
I saw the results his clients were getting and just how passionate he was about their fitness goals and helping them lose their weight as well.
After working out with you for the past 9 months, my golf game has gone through the freaking roof. My longest ever was like a 280-yard drive yesterday. I drove it 374. Oh my God. Was it really?
So if you want to be like those guys, you want to radically change your life, but simplify everything, look down in the description below. You can book a call. We'll simply talk about what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish. And if I can help you, I'll walk you through what that looks like.